has my boyfriend face blotted out because he's shy. This was Merlin, and he can actually speak and say his own name and either ask us for crackers or he was calling us crackers. Hopefully the former. The Titanic exhibition was the main reason we went to the museum. My boyfriend is obsessed with anything and everything to do with the Titanic disaster. I am as well, but not near as badly as he is. Here is a shot of an actual deck chair recovered from the Titanic, as well as my reflection taking the picture because everything was behind glass. This is me chilling in a replica deck chair that they have and allow people to sit in. This is a large picture of the Grand Staircase, which many of you probably remember from the Titanic movie from 1997. This is just a display of a replica of the tombstone for the unknown child, and we actually visited Fairview Cemetery, which has the largest number of Titanic graves, and I'll get to that soon. This is just a view of the museum from the second floor. Just me hanging out in a replica of a tippy little boat. It's actually all angled and stuff. There was a large sort of exhibit dedicated to the Halifax explosion, which, if you don't know anything about it, is a very important part of history in my province. And it also was one of the worst disasters in Canadian history. It took place during World War I, and I might actually do a whisper sort of history lesson on the explosion. The next thing we did was go on the Harbour Hopper tour. You've probably seen these before in many cities, and they used to be military vehicles which can drive and then drive directly into the water and become a boat, and they each cost approximately $1 million to build for war, but now they're used for tourists. So we decided to do the tour, and this is what the vehicle looks like. This made me laugh very, very hard. This is one of the best names for a bar and best signs I have ever seen. This is just a view from when we drove down around Citadel Hill on the Harbour Hopper. So this is from when the Harbour Hopper drove into the water. This is a huge Navy ship, and 70% of the Canadian Navy is located in Halifax. And there's a farther view of the ships and a slightly closer view, and there's the Navy waving to us. I think it may have been a wedding, actually, because you can see some women on the right side of the picture wearing pink and one who looks to be wearing a white dress. There's Theodore Tugboat. Some of you probably remember the television series from when you were younger. That's the full-sized actual Theodore. There is that last battleship treasures there, which is a shame because it's a very cool place to be. The only picture that's worth showing is in the Hall of a Million Faces. It was basically mirrored, and here we are there. And this was just us driving into Dartmouth that evening. I really love the two bridges. I just find that they look so cool. And that's just the boyfriend on the glass elevator in the Micmac Mall. And there was a hot tub in the fitness center, and I was really excited. I had to go in by myself because the other half wouldn't, but it was still worth it. And here are some treasures I bought. And here is some Cinnabon, which we don't have where I live, so that was really exciting for us. This was the next morning in the harbor. That is the biggest barge I have ever seen. And the sun was finally out that day, but there was an ominous feeling when we saw this fog rolling in over this tiny island in the harbor. So before we left, we decided we'd do a few more things, like Citadel Hill, and here's a shot from inside the Citadel. Several shots. Basically, it's an English fortress, circa the 1700s area, and the problem is, I don't know, we didn't have a guided tour or anything, so I don't know how much is restored and how much is original, and this is just me hanging out on a cannon, and the boyfriend doing the same. And this is